our local, regional and international viewers, thank you kindly for choosing us here at Real TV, where we bring reality to you. My dear friends, a very warm welcome to another edition of the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. I am Zelisa Rupani, humbly inviting you to sit back, relax, enjoy. Get your pen, get your notebook, Real TV, so you could take notes on important numbers that will be helpful for you and your loved ones. Directing this morning and in Master Control, we've got Nathaniel Reed. On behalf of the team, we'd like to wish each and every one of you a marvelous day today. It's Monday, the 26th of January, 2026. Let me remind you, a gentle reminder, it is a day and time we will never, ever have this opportunity to ever have again in life. Don't procrastinate. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your life. Do something productive and constructive. Set a daily goal, all right? And if you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you and yours, you're someone special. Today, well, actually 9 hours ago, India celebrated their Republic Day. Can you get that flyer up, please? So we say, to all those, as India celebrates Republic Day, celebrating 77 years of glorious legacy, all right? So we send that out to all of the nationals and all the links that we have in India. Thank you. Let's go to our quote for today, please. Or before we, okay, great, let's go to the quote. Thank you, Nathaniel. And our quote says, "There are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure." This is the truth. No big secret, It's the result of what you put in, how you prepare, your hard work, your commitment. And let me tell you something. Sometimes failure is the greatest teacher we could have. We learn from that. We get up, we're stronger, and we go again. Thank you, Nathaniel. Today also marks the birthday of one of our regulars, a strength here on Real TV, and that is Mr. Chanka Ramtal, Social Welfare Advisor. He's here every Wednesday teaching us about all the things we need to know when it comes to grants and things like that. Let's get Mr. Ramtal's picture up there, please, as we say happy, happy, happy birthday going out to Mr. Chanka Ramtal, Social Welfare Advisor. Of course, we're going to be seeing him on Wednesday with the grace and blessings of God. Mr. Ramtahal, all of God's choices, blessings. We thank you so much for all that you continue to contribute, the lives that you help, that intervention to help people get success. May God continue to bless you richly. May all of your dreams and all of your desires be fulfilled. Happy, happy birthday coming from all of us here, all of your friends and family at Real TV, and all of your fans out there as well. Wishing you the very best, God's choices, blessings. Speaking of blessings, today I'm in conversation with another son of the soil, Mr. Andre Seeley, and he is the founder of Make It Happen Network. Make it happen. His attitude alone is infectious, because it's one where he would have used all of his strengths, his knowledge in his life to make things happen. Don't stay stagnant, but always on the go, thinking outside of the box. As we say, a very good morning and a warm welcome. Good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here with you and looking forward to this conversation. And it's Monday. TGIM, right? Thank God it's Monday.
Thank God it's Monday. A lot of people get up and with the Monday blues after the weekend. Oh God, I have to get up and go to work.
I look forward to Monday.
I look forward myself, You're ready to go. You have all your goals for the day or the week, and you're ready to make things happen.
Ready to make things happen, for sure.
I think, Mr. Seeley, it's very important that our viewers near and far understand who we're having a conversation with this morning. I know we're going to be talking about how you merge business with entertainment.
Yes.
And we know entertainment, when it comes to the flavor of the season right now, it's carnival, it's the fever of carnival, it's on our doorstep, it's here. And entertainment is the big thing.
Yeah.
But you see things differently with regards to how do we now marry in a nice cohesive way, business and entertainment.
Yeah.
But before we do that, let's know who we're talking to this morning. Let us know about your strengths and, about you. A little bit about your past, your history,
Yeah.
and then we'll come to the present.
Sure, sure. Well, you know, the linkage between business and entertainment, because I come from those two worlds. Okay, one recent, one in my past. So I would have gone, you know, on paper, I would say I'm the commensurate professional. I got an academic scholarship to Howard University. When I did the SAT exams back in that time, I got within the top 2% of all the people that took the exam globally at that particular time in math. I was gifted with math. That was one of my gifts. And then I got awarded an academic scholarship to Howard. I went to QRC, Fatima, and St. George's, right? As you say, when you talk about this,
Yes,
come on, I told you I grew up in
area,
Sawa, El
yes,
Socorro.
yes.
And then I studied actuarial science, which is one of the most difficult disciplines there is. And then I did an MBA in finance at Howard University, returned to Trinidad and Tobago, worked in investments for a bit, didn't like it, but it was a great experience. And then I worked in anti-money laundering compliance for the Financial Intelligence Unit of Trinidad and Tobago for about 3 years. And my last, I would say, professional stint was with the Ministry of Finance as part of a small team that was responsible for setting up the Gaming Commission to regulate casinos and bars.
Nice.
So, you know, so looking at all that, you know, and then, so that's my professional background. And I'll tell you this, you know, one day, you know, I make most of my decisions intuitively. You know, in business, they said that there are two approaches to decision making. One is the administrative approach, where you think logical, you know, you look at things from a very clear, factual basis, and the other one is your gut feeling, that intuition that says, you know what, it feels right. So I remember the day when I left there, it was 1 month left of my contract, and I had all these ideas in my head for a long time, and I was just like, you know what? And the person who was running it at that time said, you know, Andre, you know, you're going to be, you know, the two of us are going to do this, and you'll be my second in command. And I just felt like, you know, I looked at the trajectory. Is this going to get me where I want to be personally? And the answer was no. And I said, but this here is undiscovered. I'm not sure, but I feel that I need to go this particular direction. So I need to get these ideas into life. I need to bring them to life. So I took a chance. I took a big chance, actually. You know, I essentially started over. So, and that chance was that with no savings, yeah, you heard me right, no savings. You know, they tell you, you know, you got to have six months, a year savings before you take that leap of faith, or your side hustle needs to become your main hustle. None of those things. Because I knew that it was either now or never. And even though I didn't have those particular principles, I didn't abide by those principles, which means I had to create a whole new path, because that path never existed. Now, how are you going to do that? You just left your job with no savings, no show income to pursue your dreams, you know, and I got a lot of flack for that, you know, even for my family too. But I looked around at that point in time, well, even now I didn't have any children. I was in a committed, serious relationship. So the biggest risk personally that I took, I looked at, was the ability to take care of my mother, my aunt. And I looked back and I said, Lord, just give me enough time to make it back to them, so everything could work out now. So there's the story of the prodigal son who squandered all of his wealth and went out, and then when he came back home, the father embraced him and welcomed him back. I wouldn't say that I'm the prodigal son. I would say that I'm the son that went to find the treasure and made it back home right before everybody starved to death.
That's deep.
Yeah.
And I do admire you for that. And I think it was listening to you without assent, taking that leap of faith was taking that leap of faith. You seem to be God-fearing, number one.
Yeah.
And number two is that you had that faith in yourself. I know what I can do.
Yeah.
And I could relate to that.
You can.
It's really when I think we hit rock bottom, or we are faced with these storms and challenges that we did not expect, that we truly understand and recognize the strength within ourselves and what we are capable of doing. Get up is either sit down there and cry and make every excuse in the book, or you get up and, as you say, make it happen. And that's what you did.
Yeah, and key to that is that being able to make it happen is not a person, it's an aura, it's a spirit. Okay, and nobody can make it happen by themselves. So that's why sometimes when people see me, hey, that's the make it happen man, I correct them one time. So whoa, I'm not the make it happen man. I'm not Superman. I'm not the savior. You know, but because it's the people, it's the community, it's the network. We all stand on the shoulders of giants. So and there's nothing that I've done or accomplished to date, and I'm just getting started, by the way, that I've done by myself is because I've had the support. And that's something we need to talk about too, the difference between help and support, because a lot of people, they interchange the two. It's not the same.
You're absolutely correct. Help and support. You're absolutely
Let's
correct.
know that. We're going to come back to that, but I want to stay on program with you, because we can go all over.
Yeah, no, but you're absolutely correct. There are people that are there for support, but then there are people that are there for help, and that's important.
Yeah, and the difference.
There's a big difference.
You want to explain that difference?
Well, let's go right into it.
Let's go, and then you'll bring us back to the topic.
Certainly.
So help is incidental and support is intentional. Okay. So and how that knowledge came to me is because I was looking back. Even as I, started to do these events, which we will get to, I'm saying, hey, how come, this same person, I'm getting angry at them because I find that they're not doing what they say they're going to do, they're not supporting me, but then I remember, hey, am I being ungrateful because I'm looking back at some of the things that they did for me? Paid a phone bill, helped me when I needed maybe some $500 cash at a time, just so, just help. And I said, but am I ungrateful? What is really happening here? And then downloaders come to you about understanding, and they say, okay, there's a difference. The difference is that when you walk past the street and you see someone asking for money or food, and you give them $1, you buy them a, that's help. And somebody needs to be appreciative of that. Support, in the definition that I came up with, is where you help somebody get from A to B, needed a professional, personal, spiritual relationship life. You actually supporting that is more long term, it's more intentional. So you can naturally see, you want to see that person's progression, evolution over time. So the things that you do, so that's why I say it's incidental. Here, take this $5, that's helped you. Support will look like, hey, let me introduce you, let me help position you, let me introduce you to somebody that can help you achieve your dreams. Okay, let me put you in a place. Let me put you in a place of where I don't know, like say for example, for me, support would be, so one of the big support example of that, has been, I would say, Miss Deborah Cumberbatch. She has been really supportive of me in terms of my endeavors. I first got my exposure into events at Estate 101, and the things that she did in allowing me to utilize her place at no cost, or in making certain introductions to me, because she believed in me. She wanted to support me. So it was more long term.
Is it that she saw your vision?
Well, she understood
you.
She understood me and this is why it's great sharing, because not a lot of people, I would say that, and this is not my term, is learning from people who have done it before. They said, in the pursuit of becoming the greatest version of yourself, you're often going to be misunderstood. And understanding that, ironically, is knowing, because you remember, your vision was given to you.
Yeah.
Not to everyone else. So you're operating, seeing this thing here as if it's right in front of you and nobody's seeing it. So they're gonna misunderstand what your objective is, what your agenda is.
Absolutely.
Right? So that helped, but conversations like these, and not everybody's privy to these type of conversations. That's why it's good in terms of what you are doing in your network by bringing this, because I can't have 100 of these same conversations, but this one conversation can influence 100 people.
Of course, and the fact is, it can influence, and I always say, if it would motivate people,
yes,
inspire people, help people that are stuck, because not everybody will have the ability like you and I to get up and make things happen, and for many reasons. So sometimes we may brand and say, but that person is a lazy boy, or you have no ambition in life. But we cannot, and exactly, we cannot understand why, or you know, the reason, or the environment. We don't know, and we're quick to blame, we're quick to point fingers if only we understand. And so that is why shows like this and people like you
And yourself.
will, thank you, will continue to help people be motivated to move on, to get back on track. We all got off track somewhere along the line.
Correct.
But it's about getting back, and getting back with full force. And you know what? It's also okay to fail. It's okay. What is not okay is if you don't get up and go again. And that's how I see it in my perspective.
I totally agree. You feel forward, and you know, and that's why when somebody asks you, I don't know if you have sit back and asked yourself the question: if there was one word or phrase that you want to be remembered by, I want people to know you, what word would that be? I sit back and think about those things, and based on what you said there, it just reminded me of that word. I want, when somebody looks at Andre Seeley, I want them, if there was one word that could encapsulate or represent my life, that word would be possibilities. I want when somebody look at me and say, man, they get inspired to be what's possible.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the mission.
To think outside of the box, to
More,
be innovative.
hey, more than think outside the box. So this is the thing about the box, right? There's most people live within the box.
Yeah.
Few people live outside the box. My mission is to open people up to a reality where there was never a box in the first place. There was just a blank canvas, and you're about to paint your greatest masterpiece.
Beautiful. With that, let's go to these important messages. This is the program Conversations with Zelisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. Let's go to these messages. Stay with us.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Join me, your host, Smitty, on A Man's Perspective, right here on Real TV from 6 to 7 p.m. every Monday. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Naka, introducing to you Bridging the Gap, where we touch on the news, discuss social issues and current affairs with a twist. Every Monday to Friday in a real time, right here on Real TV.
I am Zelisa Singh Rupani, inviting you to join me for the rebirth of Apne Sitare, Our Stars, a vibrant and spectacular show celebrating the incredible local talents of the sons and daughters of Trinidad and Tobago. Experience the beauty of our culture through singing, dancing, and musical performances as we keep the arts alive and shining bright. Tune in right here on Real TV every Sunday from 1 p.m. for Apne Sitare, Our Stars. See you there.
To all of our local, regional and international viewers, thank you kindly for choosing us here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. To all those of you on Tego, the app, remember to download it. Take Real TV with you real time, anytime. Tell your friends and family members. It's a free app. And of course, to all those of you on the Caribbean Showtime television in Canada, thanks again for choosing us. I know that you guys are in Canada and North America also experiencing some storm, the snowstorm, and the weather is really bad. So, you know, thanks perhaps those of you who don't get the opportunity to look at Real TV in real time, you get to do it today. So thanks for choosing us. I'm in conversation with Mr. Andre Seeley. He's the founder of Make It Happen Network. And today he's talking to us about merging business with entertainment. You know, I should let you know, Mr. Seeley, I always admire people who receive scholarships.
Really?
Yes. It's because you've worked for it, you've earned it. You have, there's a little cut above the rest where people could see your greatest potential and allow that to blossom and shine.
And reward you for it.
Yes, yeah. There are people who struggle, who work extremely hard to study. They juggle 3 and 4 jobs in order to make things happen in their life, especially when it comes to their education. Our Prime Minister, she was a waitress when she was studying in Ireland doing her doctorate.
Well, I didn't even know that.
Yes, she waited tables. So the point I'm making is that there are people who struggle and work extremely hard. Not that you didn't work hard, because you had to work even harder to make things happen in that atmosphere. So what I like is that you already, in terms of academics, you understand the importance of good song education.
Correct.
You know, and nothing happens by chance. Everything happens for a reason and purpose, and as we say, in God's timing, you know. And so that part or that area of your life was accomplished and well accomplished. You came back to Trinidad.
Yes, I came
Home
back.
sweet home.
Home
You
sweet
came
home.
back to mom and auntie, and that I think is where we see or understand the softer side of you, the human side of you. There are many people that feel, you know, when they've done it and they make it, their parents or their family is not their responsibility. I truly believe that is far from the truth. I believe once a man, twice a child. Our parents made many sacrifices for us. You know, they held our hand every time we fell down, and they provided for us. A lot of their dreams were shattered in allowing our dreams to take blossom.
Yeah.
And so I strongly believe in family. I strongly believe in taking care of family.
Yeah, and that reminded me of something my aunt told me once. She said, my aunt was a judge and the principal of Hubert Law School, Ernestine Seeley. So, you know, and my mother was a teacher. She went to Columbia University, and now, you know, now they're both retired. But one thing my aunt told me is that, you know, she sat me down a couple of years ago, and I think when I first came back, and she said, you know, she called me son. She's like my second mother, right? She said, you know, I could have gone after the money, but I decided to take care of my family instead. And if it wasn't for her, to be honest, if it wasn't for her, I think I would have used my brain in a different way, and I might have been either dead or in jail right now. Because
She kept you on
yeah, for sure.
She kept
for sure.
you focused.
For sure,
Yeah.
by the sacrifice that she made now. So that always stood out to me, and I said, you know what? I wrote a letter to my family in April 2014.
Yeah.
Seriously. And I said, the summary of it, I said, you didn't go after the money and take care of your family. I promise to do both. So, you know, so I have to live
Well,
up
you
to
have
that.
to get it in order to provide. You
Correct,
have to create it in order to
correct.
provide, to help, to be there. I remember when I was studying as well in Australia in those days, you know, you had the means of expressing yourself was by letters, and I would sit and write letters and letters to my parents, always full of gratitude and things like that. I believe in gratitude. I believe in thank you. I believe in you know, understanding and appreciating what people do and how they provide for you and how, you know, they help you to evolve and to change, because it's the people that are there around us that will either help motivate us, elevate us, or pull us down. That's the fact.
Correct.
You came back, went into corporate, so you've had that experience.
Yeah.
You earned your money, and I'm sure good money.
Relatively.
But you've earned. You didn't sit idly by. You went out there, you work, and you earn your money.
Yeah.
And then you realize, well, you saw things differently, or you saw the potential, I would say, of now having this idea of merging the corporate business world with entertainment.
Yeah.
But don't we already have that, if I may ask?
Well, not in my purview.
Okay.
I believe that they're separate, and that kind of brings together. Well, in order to speak to that, I have to speak about the genesis of the Make It Happen network. I don't know if you want me to go there or just.
Please do.
Right.
Yes.
So the Make It Happen network essentially is a social enterprise. Okay, we describe ourselves as a for-profit with purpose company. So the things we do, we're making money, but we want to have an impact as well. Right? So what we do is dedicated to uniting communities through three modes. One, new media, similar to what you're doing here, podcast. We call it podcast programming, because the evolution of media went from paid programming to podcast programming as one. Two, through boutique events, like the event we have coming up, which is Embrace. We can speak about that briefly.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. We need to talk about that. Boutique events and our flagship event, Becoming, which is a social networking party where we actually merge business with entertainment and party with a purpose. That's where we give out this award called the Make It Happen Award. We could talk about all that too. And the third aspect is community engagement. So those are the three modus operandi. That's how we operate and the idea. And I could give examples of each one of those stuff. But that name, the Make It Happen Network, could actually birth from looking at our country's motto. What is the motto of Trinidad and Tobago?
Together we aspire, together we achieve.
Great. So we looked at that and we say, hey, here we in 2026. How could we? Because I don't do things just by the way. I really look at something and try to hone into it. I don't like using cliche words. I need to bring those things to life. So I said, okay, how can we represent that motto, which is somehow becoming lost because people are so individualistic, they're fighting each other down, especially in the space that I'm in right now. I'm learning as I go. And I said, okay, what does it mean to aspire? What does it mean to achieve in 2026? Well, that is to make it happen. That's the word, that's the phrase we use. That's the phrase everybody. I said, okay, great. And then together. What is together? What is togetherness? What does that look like? Well, hello, that's a network. They Make It Happen network. So that parallel there is so powerful because it's rooted in the very cornerstone of our country's motto. You understand? To bring that to life, not only from a contemporary phrase, but to really execute that. That you could see like, these guys, through everything they do, through media, through events, through community engagement, they're literally doing or showcasing our national motto and bringing that to life. So that's how powerful that's where the name originated from.
Nice. And I think you did put a lot of thought into that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, names are important, right?
Names are very important because names carry the energy behind something. So that's important. So with the Make It Happen network now, because you said it's a for-profit with purpose. So I would say that one of the things that we've done when it comes to new media, or doing plans to come, is that we want to be able to have not just a podcast, but a programming with different podcasts, with different shows. And we're saying that, okay, look what happened to Newsday. Look what, and if you look at the trend, I wouldn't say it's dead. It just traditional media needs to adopt this new world. Okay, a new digital world, like what you're doing here at Real TV, which is very important. So, and also to empower the creatives. So we're saying, hey, we're going to create these different shows, and we are going to source the talent to be the lead in those shows, and then give them an ownership interest in that particular show by way of say, okay, let's say we come up with a name of a show. Well, one of the shows we have coming up is called The Undecided.
Okay, I want you to hold that thought. When we return, we'll talk about The Undecided.
Sure.
This is a program, Conversations with Zelisa. Let's go to these important messages. Stay with us.
Macon Construction Company Limited. Save big whilst building stronger. We build with our Macon innovative building systems, which provides high wind speed, earthquake, sea blast and fire resistance, is thermally and acoustically insulated, provides improved construction timelines and cost savings. We provide construction services from design to finish and everything in between. Macon Construction Company Limited. Building green today with tomorrow's technology. Contact or visit us today.
Hi, I'm Joanne Ogaro, and welcome to Smart Talk. SMART is the acronym for the Single Mothers Association of Trinidad and Tobago.
And I am Melissa Brown. Smart Talk exists to give single mothers and families real conversation, real data, real advocacy.
And I am Shermaine Wickham Howe, President and Founder of the Single Mothers Association, highlighting all issues affecting single mothers, facts, situation, solution, empowerment. So tune in at 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. every Wednesday on Real TV with Smart Talk.
Ready to take your sales career to the next level? If you have a passion for connecting with clients, building meaningful relationships, and delivering results, we want you on our team. Join a dynamic, motivated environment where your experience matters, your ideas are valued, and your drive defines your success. Step into a role with real opportunity. Join the sales team at Real TV, where your future begins.
Call us today at 292-6470 or WhatsApp us at 384-7142. You can also send an email to realtv.corporate@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. To all of our local, regional, international viewers, thank you kindly for choosing us. Here's wishing you a beautiful, blessed day today. Today I'm in conversation with Mr. Andre Seeley, and he is the founder of Make It Happen Network and merging business with entertainment. A really wonderful conversation so that we can understand exactly the dynamics of how things, change in life. Speaking of change, Mr. Seeley, over the weekend looking at social media, I saw where people were wearing headsets and they were chipping on the street.
Yeah?
And I looked at it and I looked at it over again, and I was reading all the different comments and understanding change is inevitable. We can't change that, it's the only thing that's constant. But did we ever, or could we ever, would have seen, like many other things, where you have mature people chipping on the street, dancing to music, but wearing headsets. No audio extent. They're enjoying the music and enjoying the moment.
Living in the moment.
Living in the moment. Talk about change and how we embrace and how we see things in a different light. Different experiences. And they seem to have been enjoying themselves. They're hearing the music, they're chipping and they're dancing and they're having a good time on the streets. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, that's the fact that they have the headphones in.
They all were wearing their headsets.
Yeah.
So they were hearing the music. It was not anybody else hearing but themselves.
Oh,
and they all chipping and dancing and having a good time.
Well, some people be in their own worlds, and that music is such a powerful tool for a form of expression. So it helps them to what you're really seeing there is that the music is helping them to express themselves, express their individuality without. It's like they say, dancing in the shower when nobody's watching. Now they're dancing in public and they're nobody's watching, which is good.
Music is universal expression and love, I would say. We could connect whether we understand or not. We put meaning to certain songs or certain, yeah.
To allow other people to connect with that. So really and truly, when a musician puts something out, their life, their trials, their tribulation, their story, certain things that had an impact on them, and they put that out there for mass consumption, somebody connects with that. People are connected with them through their music, really and truly. So it really is what they're making, and I think the byproduct of that is that they're making individuality the new normal. Because nobody dances, they're dancing the same. I mean, some people they have this kind of dance, or these hot girls is the same thing. But other than that, it's dance and form is a very personal,
It's an
thing.
expression. It's an expression of one's.
So, and then the last thing we touched on was
was that first project that you worked on.
Right, well, just to touch on the undecided, right?
The undecided. Let's talk a little bit about the undecided.
The undecided. So what the undecided is it's a apolitical podcast show, because I think, looking at the narrative, you have Douglas politics, and then you have Philip Alex. I just call names, right? You have Philip Alexander.
Right, and then you have ketchup and mustard, as some of us say.
Ketchup
Right?
right? But looking at that, I'm saying, and this is just I feel a different narrative needs to come, a different voice that can attract a different audience, just because of the, how they communicate. So the undecided is geared towards people who have either never voted before, have traditionally voted based on heritage or who their family voted for, and now they want to make a more fact-based and issue-driven approach, or take that approach to their voting. But they don't necessarily know how to do that. They don't know how to do it. So what we're doing is that we are providing that space for conversations with political figures, past and present, political pundits, activists, political analysts, etc., and giving them a place to come and share. People have opposing views. Come and share, and we take a neutral stance and let the people think for themselves.
Exactly.
Not come with a narrative, not condemning the government, not saying why PNM or UNC or any other party is better. Just hearing people, providing a safe space for those conversations, and pushing a lot of debates. Because another thing I recognize is that a lot of these opinions, these strong views, they speak about it in silos. Like you wouldn't see the two opposing views in the same space at the same time. Okay, let's have that challenge in a respectful way, hopefully, similar to how CNN or Fox News would invite different commentators to come on.
Absolutely correct.
Right, so we want to do that, and even take that as far as opposed as doing a symposium in UWI, just to teach people how do you make a fact-based decision. So I'm not primarily going to be the face of this, but it's going to be led by a Gen Z female or male who fits into one or more of those categories. They never voted before, they want to make a fact-based decision, or they want to move away from voting based on race. And one of the unique approaches we're taking for that is say, hey, over the course, over the next 4 more years, during the course of the last year, we are going to launch an initiative whereby over the course of 100 videos to help people to make a fact-based decision. So we'll say, okay, what does that look like? So for a Gen Z, one of the things that is important to them is more representation of that age demographic in politics.
Right.
So very simple. You look at the aggregate age of all the, or the average age of all the ministers for example, PNM, the average age of all the ministers for UNC, and it calculates, PNM X, UNC, and that's very fact-based. No, because that's something that's important to that generation.
Yeah.
Or when we go up to UWI and have that symposium, we're going to say, okay, what is very important for professional Gen Z is the years we put into our professional career, the years in school, our professional experience. So another thing is that, hey, what to match is the minister in that position has the requisite experience for that post, because you could see a lot of the different posts, people have no experience in that particular.
Square pegs in wrong holes. We're seeing it. Square pegs in wrong holes.
Correct. So that's another very clear, unbiased thing. Okay, let's look at all the ministers in the different positions from PNM to UNC, etc., and look at the people who had direct We're not transferable experience, but direct experience in that particular post. So that's clear. You do the tabulation, and then so that even though we didn't have any convictions, we might look at, hey, one of the things for us, maybe the total number of who had more allegations or charges during their regime. And so those things are very, but not a lot of people could think about 100 ways in order to do that. And then on the 100th video is going to be a campaign. The gentry person say, hey, because it's very engaging as well, because people getting educated, you're having conversation with people on the road. So at the end of the 100th video, she or he is going to say, this has been such an amazing experience. Thank you much for all that I've learned throughout this campaign. Not a political campaign, just the campaign on the side himself.
Exactly,
and then for this election, I guess that'll be 2030. 2030, I will be voting for bleep, because I think that bleep, but people want to know, so the comment section is going to go crazy, right? People are going to know, who you want? But if you followed the 100 videos, you would know who she's going to vote for, because it's unbiased, issue-driven, that matter to her the most, and fact-based.
A lot of people, in terms of fact-based, they really don't have any knowledge when it comes to facts. It's because I hear, say, this talk show host, or this and this, or what you read, but it's really not, researched.
Correct.
And
so
we talk from the top of our heads. We look at social media and we say, okay,
this
so I believe, or this
that.
person right, or this person wrong, or
Yeah.
without knowing the facts. And I think you're absolutely correct. We need, when it comes to whether it's a podcast or talk shows, we need to identify that the hosts are competent when it comes to
independent bodies. So the research element is very important. So that's just, I know that's just one podcast on the show.
I want us now to touch on this new Embrace.
Embrace.
This is brand new.
Yes,
Embrace.
this is brand new.
What is Embrace? When
what
I think
is
of Embrace, I think of feeling one. I think of feeling part of something. I'm embraced.
Yeah.
I'm embracing this. I'm embracing you. You feel of connection.
A connection, yeah, for sure. So Embrace is our debut into the carnival landscape. It's a micro event happening at the Razi restaurant on February 12th, Carnival Thursday, and is a cross-cultural carnival experience. So what we're saying is
it's
that
a restaurant.
It's in a restaurant,
Nice.
so that which is interesting. And so how are you gonna have a fete in a restaurant? Just because, but more importantly, the purpose of the event. Because I said we are for-profit with purpose company.
Yeah,
right?
You can't do anything. You have to make some money to pay the bills. You need the money.
Make some money,
right?
So
and we must all get a good takeaway.
A good experience, a return on experience,
yeah.
ROE.
So once you get that, the beauty is you already start thinking next year.
Yeah, for sure.
You follow?
For sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Great, beautiful.
So what we're saying is that the truth is Carnival has become much bigger than Trinidad, and we need to embrace that. It doesn't make sense competing with the other carnivals, saying, well, Trinidad is bad, no, every carnival, first of all, has its own unique vibe.
Correct.
And cannot be replicated. So they all bring something unique to offer to the overall landscape. And to compete with these countries that have other carnivals whereby we have influenced them, this doesn't make sense to me now.
Yeah.
And so what embracing that looks like is that we are saying in 2026, the people, the cities, the event organizers, the mass band leaders where carnival has had its greatest impact or influence will now return to the Mecca to show their inspired version of our carnival through music, art, and cuisine.
Right.
But it's really a fete. But at the same time, it's showing that, hey,
excuse me,
we'll have cuisine from all the different countries where there's a carnival presence. We'll have music from not only our indigenous talent, but regional talent, international talent, like Angie from Japan. Japan has been influenced by our carnival. They adopted the pan, and now they have artists and shows. So we want to show what that looks like. So the representation of that will be that somebody's coming to the event, they're getting the taste of a fetting atmosphere, but they're connecting as well. And more importantly, strategically, we said we wanted to build this event around a diplomatic community because those countries where there's a carnival presence, they're represented by way of the embassies here in Trinidad and Tobago, but they all have different embassies with different races. So we said, because we operate with a spirit of inclusivity, how we even came up with the name, say when you take the word embassy and the word race, and you put it together, you get it already, put it together, take some letters off of embassy, you get the word embrace.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Right? So I mean, it's very purposeful. So now we invite in that community, because that diplomatic community is an underserved community in terms of having a carnival event that they could connect with. So this was really designed for them, and not only them, but the fraternity and then the carnival enthusiasts, the cultural ambassadors. So the event is really, I think it's going to be something special. It's a micro version. So it's happening on Carnival Thursday.
Good. We're going to talk about Embrace, what we would expect or the experience. I'm sure it's going to be well put together. I'm sure it's going to be very intimate.
Very intimate.
And the first is always the finest, right?
That's what they say.
Let's go to these important messages. Stay with us.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
When security matters most, choose Catch Security Services Limited. We are proudly approved by the Ministry of Homeland Security. We protect your home, business, community, and much more. Our services include professional baton and armed officers, specialized K-9 units, mobile patrols, secure cash pickups, secure transport, and pepper spray applications and supply coming soon. Don't wait. Secure your assets now. Contact Catch Security today. Call 622-6601, email info@cssl-tt.com, or visit our office at 30-32, Saddle Road, Maraval.
I am Zelisa Rupani, inviting you to join me for the rebirth of Apne Sitare, Our Stars, a vibrant and spectacular show celebrating the incredible local talents of the sons and daughters of Trinidad and Tobago. Experience the beauty of our culture through singing, dancing, and musical performances as we keep the arts alive and shining bright. Tune in right here on Real TV every Sunday from 1 p.m. for Apne Sitare, Our Stars. See you there.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. In conversation with a true son of the soil, Andre Seeley. Mr. Seeley is the founder of Make It Happen Network, and today he's talking to us about merging business with entertainment. Brilliant idea, out of the ordinary. And let's see how Trinidad and Tobago will embrace this. Welcome back, Mr. Seeley.
Yes.
Embrace, first of its kind.
Yeah.
It's going to be a different experience, and the takeaway should be an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah.
You know, you pay your money, you expect to get delivery, you
Yeah.
know. Tell us what, apart from this, will be, what is going to set Embrace apart from the others?
Good. So what was going to set it apart, because a lot of people don't know how big the influence of soca and carnival has been, right? So you come there and be able to see, okay, by way of the screens, because this is like the pilot of the actual program. Be able to say, oh, I didn't know they had a carnival in Dubai or Bali or in this country. So we're inviting those event organizers and band leaders to have a presence at the event at no charge on the screens so people could be made aware of that particular carnival. Then we're going to have the global cuisines from all, well not all, but a significant number of countries where there is a carnival presence. And then the musicians, like I said earlier, Angie from Japan, she's going to be performing alongside the young brother and Brave Boy, Marcus Brave Boy as well, and some other artists that we have carded. So it's showing that, okay, so it's showing that global influence of soca in this incarnation. And then more importantly, what we are focusing on is more of the intimate experience. So it's not to compete. So a lot of people say, hey, you coming up on Carnival Thursday, you compete on all these events. I was like, no. We're not competing because we have this particular experience. And there's Voice with Voicey. If you're looking for a big concert and you love voice, go to that. There's Brian Lara Cooler or Farmhouse. If you're looking for a cooler, right? If you're looking for a cooler event on that day, you go to that. But if you're looking for all-inclusive, but you're looking for something more intimate, maybe you don't like large crowds. Maybe you more would like to have a more intimate or focus on the engagement and the connection as opposed to the indulgent consumption. Because in my opinion, like all the fests have plenty drinks and food. That shouldn't be the highlight. It's more than that. So yes, you're going to get great drinks. We have a premium offering and a luxury offering depending on which experience you buy into, because we don't sell tickets, we let people buy into experiences. That's another thing. But separate and apart from that, what are you going to walk away with? You're going to walk away with meeting some people you never met before, and in an environment, and the relationships that are birthed through that event. So that's why Carnival could be used as a platform for many things. People use it for entrepreneurship, people use it for experiential tourism, and we're using it for three things in particular: the strengthening of diplomatic ties, nation branding, and cross-border collaboration. So that's why part of the experience is that we have a diplomatic lounge, and we describe who we think we may want to have that type of experience. It's perfect for executives and diplomats or groups that value a more intimate and exclusive, socially curated environment. And the offerings match that. So that person says, oh, that's me. I want to come to that.
So we're looking at the elite.
No, it's not an elite. That's the thing. It's not about the elite. It's not an elitist approach. What it is that even though it's exclusive, let's say we operate with the spirit of inclusivity, anybody could essentially attend, but it's not for everybody. So just by way of that, it's like a natural filter of, okay, I think I wanna have that experience right there. So that's very important in terms of, and that is how I told you offset how we evolved that whole VIP structure. And we said, no, we don't have any VIPs. What we have is a VIX, which is a very intimate experience, because it's about the experience, right? And this event is an intimate experience. So we want people, we don't want to identify you as a VIP.
So is it an extension of, we would say, or the concept rather, and I stand to be corrected, of a greet and meet? So I get to greet, I get to meet, I get to interact, I get to...
Yeah, you get to
socialize in a different way.
In an informal setting, correct.
Yeah,
but
in a very intimate way rather than...
Correct. And not, so it's not as stuffy as the Hyatt,
right,
where you have, people, we want to do it in an organic. So the point to that is actually Virgil Abloh. You know who that is? Virgil Abloh, he passed away. He was the lead men's designer for Louis Vuitton. And he said something that struck with me up to today, and that's what influenced the business with entertainment. He said, we spend so much time trying to curate the talent. You got to look this way, you got to dress this way, you got to that. If we spend more time curating the room, making sure that the room is curated, wherever, you can just drop the talent in there, and they can just show up for the most authentic version of themselves. And that's when we focus on curating the room. So those relationships and those connections could form organically and authentically. Okay, and one of the things that we are being known for is the crowd composition. Can be very deliberate about that from an intergenerational aspect, from an ethnicity aspect, and from an industry aspect. So when you come to making up the event, we're endeavoring to say, okay, we want to have 60% millennials, 20% Gen Zs, and 20% Gen X, because we think that makes for good interaction. We want it to be multi-ethnic, black, white, Indian, Syrian, Chinese, etc. We also want it to be industry inclusive. So we identified 11 spheres of influence that usually wouldn't be in the same room at the same time. We say, what would happen if we put these people in the same room? Wouldn't that be a memorable experience? And those 11 being executives, business owners slash entrepreneurs, young professionals, seasoned professionals, expats, government officials, media personalities, sports persons, influencers, socialites, and last but not least, musicians slash creatives. Like, wow, how you, 11? Yeah, because now everybody becomes a fan of each other. Like you would never meet that a creative mightn't, that's emerging the business with entertainment. They don't operate in the same space. So by creating that, curating that space in an informal, celebratory setting, in this case Carnival, we're using Carnival as a platform for the things I said earlier.
I want you to look into that camera.
Okay, this one on the left-hand side right here.
And I would like you to talk to our viewers near and far of why they should choose Embrace as an option for Carnival Thursday. What will set Embrace apart?
Great. Well,
the edge, the cut above the rest.
If you're looking for the most intimate, socially curated experience during this Carnival calendar, you want to be at Embrace. With a mere 250 people in its first incarnation, we are focused on engagement and connection as opposed to mass adoption and indulgent consumption. So you're going to come there and you're going to have a memorable experience. You're going to have an unforgettable experience because you're going to forget the food you eat. You're going to forget the drinks that you drank, but you're not going to forget the person that you met, whether that be for a personal connection or a business connection. And that is what is going to be the key takeaway from Embrace 2026, a cross-cultural carnival exchange experience happening February 12th, Carnival Thursday, a Razi restaurant, 750 TT for the very intimate experience, 1,000 TT for the very, very intimate experience, and we look forward to seeing you there.
What can we expect in the near future, or in the future, from Make It Happen Network?
Well, what we can expect...
What sort of events?
What sort of events? So the next thing we have on the calendar right now is launching the Undecided show. And then our flagship event, which I would like for you to attend, maybe you could attend Embrace as well if you partake in the festivities. But we have our flagship event in October called Becoming, which is where it's a social networking party where business meets entertainment. It's a community building event at no charge. We don't charge anybody for it.
Excellent.
No charge. And you get complimentary drinks for 2 hours, complimentary food all night. We have to pick a venue this year. Last year was held in Vice nightclub. We had about 700 people there. The year before, it was in Estate 101 in Maraval. About 800 people. It wasn't the paper. It's an all-white event. And that is our community building event again. So but is it the same concept of merging business with entertainment, the same concept of having people who usually wouldn't be in the same space at the same time and bringing people together. We use that event as that community building event to exemplify
I like
that.
when you talk about building relationships. I like when you talk about, yes, you have a drink and you'll forget that drink, or you have a meal and you'll forget it, but you never, ever, ever forget that connection of that person or persons.
Correct.
It stays with you for
It stays
a
with you.
lifetime.
I'm not going to forget being on Real TV for the first time in my life here with you. I'm never going to forget that. How could I?
Yeah, an experience of a lifetime.
Correct.
And I'm sure we'll have many other conversations.
Of course.
I first want to congratulate you.
Oh, thank you.
And, you know, of the young man who blossomed and will continue to blossom into a giant. I see where, you know, you will grow from strength to strength. And I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. As I said, I'm sure we'll have many other conversations. God bless you. And the best is always yet to come.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
having me.
You're welcome, sir. This is where we're going to wrap things up. Let me thank you for choosing us. Be kind, be courteous, be giving. Please be good, law-abiding citizens. Do what is right at all times. I want to remind you again, as I always do every day, the choices you make today will determine your tomorrows. All right? Keep smiling, be positive, be kind, be courteous, and here's reminding you that with God, all things are possible. I am Zelisa Rupani. Thanks for choosing us. Great programming continues. Naka is going to be with us at 12 o'clock. Stick and stay. Great programming. Real TV. See you tomorrow.